afternoon. Today is March 31st, and this is a voting session of the Ways and Means Committee. First up, House Bill 340, and there are amendments. Delegate Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 340, Election Law Campaign Finance Enforcement. This bill makes a number of cleanup changes and also strengthening of our campaign finance enforcement laws. Some of the things that it does is extending the statute of limitations for election law offenses from 3 years to 4 years. It also prohibits an individual who has unpaid civil penalties for election law violations from becoming a candidate, being nominated, or taking office. The amendments to this bill reduce the maximum civil penalty that the state prosecutor may impose for a violation under Title 14, that's for businesses, of the election law article from $10,000 to $5,000, and then it also makes technical changes. I move the amendments.
Any discussion on the amendments?
Question, Madam Chair. I just had a question about the statute of limitations. My notes on this reflected that it was going to extend the statute of limitations for campaign finance violation crime, potentially, or charge. Is that still, was that changed in the amendments at all, or is that still existing?
That's
Stan
not
shaking his
changed.
head no.
That's not changed by the amendments.
Okay, so what is the statute of limitations currently, and what will the statute of limitations be under the bill?
Yes, sure. That's not under the amendments that we're discussing now.
Okay.
But it's currently 3 years. It's going to 4 years under the bill, not the amendments.
And that's for criminal or just a civil violation, or both? Both. Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion on the amendments? Delegate Hornberger.
In terms of the, because some folks file when time goes by, they open a new account. If there's a legacy $10 fine on there, maybe they don't know of, how do you opt into this to where you can't run again?
That's a good question. That's also on the bill, so we might want to adopt the amendments. But to answer your question, the board does send information. It does send a note. This is not something that's going to pop up where all of a sudden, oh, I can't be nominated. They do send you a notice that says, hey, you know, you're overdue in $10 or whatever it may be, and there is a certain amount of time for you to, I think that they have to send it within a couple weeks notice, and so you do have time to cure that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on the amendments? Okay, all in favor of the amendments, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition, please say nay. Okay, is there a motion on the bill as amended?
Move favorable.
Any discussion on the bill as amended? Okay, all in favor of the bill as amended, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Okay, so that is Delegate Buckle, Delegate Hornberger, Delegate Hartman, Delegate Griffith is throwing his hand up in solidarity, and Delegate Rose. Pat, did you get that? You need me to, yes? Raise your hand for nays, please. Delegate Buckle, Delegate Hornberger, Delegate Griffith, Delegate Hartman, and Delegate Rose. Thank you. House Bill 340 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 838 has amendments and it has a significant sponsor problem. Delegate Lukey.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move to special order this bill till May. So the amendments on the bill make some adjustments in the timeline and the amount of funding in the bill. Essentially, as amended, this bill would create a Western Maryland Economic Future Investment Board and fund as recommended by the Commission on the Economic Future of Western Maryland. It would create mandated appropriations for 3 years of $10 million annually. After that, rather than terminating the fund, it leaves the fund open to future gubernatorial appropriations. Move the amendments.
Any discussion on the amendments? All in favor of the amendments, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, is there a motion on the bill as amended?
Move favorable.
Any discussion on the bill? Delegate Buckle.
Sincerely thank the members of this committee, the chairman of the subcommittee, yourself, and everyone else. I've commented many, many times in my 8 years here how Western Maryland takes sometimes the brunt of some of the policies that the rest of the Maryland believes is right for the rest of the state and for its economy does not fit us. I truly, truly appreciate this step towards giving us some economic development opportunities and the bipartisan spirit in which it has been presented. And I thank all of you for that, sincerely.
I'm gonna cry.
Any other discussion on the bill? Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition, please say no. Okay, House Bill 838 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 1384 has amendments. Delegate Lukey.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 1384, as introduced, creates a new 4.0 technology grant program, which is intended to help Maryland small and mid-sized manufacturers adopt the sort of most up-to-date, most advanced manufacturing-related technology. The amendments to the bill tweak exactly which technologies the fund would help support. They make changes to ensure that there's outreach to minority-owned, small and mid-sized manufacturers to make sure MBEs are fully participating. There's language that requires that the board that's set up to help make recommendations on the rules for the program looks at potential workforce impacts and retraining impacts. And the amendments also reduce the funding for the program to $1 million and sunset it after 3 years. Essentially, we'll be treating this as a bit of a pilot. So I move the amendments.
Any discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor of the amendments, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Okay, motion on the bill?
Move favorable.
Any discussion on the bill as amended? Okay, roll call. All in favor of the bill, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Okay, House Bill 1384 passes favorably as amended. Thank you. Senate Bill 15, and there are amendments. Delegate Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 15, Election Law Campaign Finance Enforcement. This is the cross-file to the bill that we just discussed. The amendments to the bill are technical, and I move the amendments.
Any discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor. Delegate Hornberg, did you have something to say, or what'd you say? On the bill, okay. All in favor of the amendments, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Okay, motion on the bill.
Move favorable.
Okay, discussion on the bill. Delegate Hornberger.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If someone does an infraction, files for office, and then after it's filed for office, it's found that they committed an infraction, is it retroactive and would it preclude them from running for office?
What kind of infraction are you referring to?
Well, according to the bill, you can't run if you've got an infraction.
So that goes into just our existing law. So they would have to pay the fine if they're found to, they're fined, they'd have to pay it. That would just go into our regular laws. I don't think that that would be something. So if they're already in office, we don't retroactively remove people, but they would be, like, if it's a late fee for not filing, for example, you would continue to pile up those late fees. And perhaps when it's re-election time and you're owing, that's when you would be facing a challenge there. But I do want to say that with this bill, we're really talking about people who are serious bad actors for the most part. I mean, this bill is really looking at making sure that our Board of Elections and that our state prosecutor has the right tools for both businesses who fall under Title 14 and also our campaign finance enforcement to make sure that folks are following the law. If you want to be in office, you have to make sure that your campaign finance is within the letter of the law.
Just to clarify, because I had this happen to me where they performed an audit much time after the report had been submitted and accepted as fine. And if I had not satisfied that debt, or again, the scenario where I closed my campaign account out or open it back up later, if I was able to open the campaign account and I had filed for office already, and then it was found that I committed an infraction before the campaign account was open or from a previous indiscretion, would that prevent me from being able to go on to the, if I did not satisfy the debt, would that prevent me from going on the, what's the ballot?
If you have an unpaid civil penalty and you are running for office, trying to be on the ballot, looking to get your nomination, you would not be able to do that until you satisfied that. And I think that's extremely fair. We do have to make sure that before we take office and run for office that we have satisfied those obligations.
I'm not arguing the merits of the bill. I'm just asking if I had already filed and my candidacy had been accepted, and I
If
did
you've
not
already
satisfy the fine that was a result of an audit, would I be taken off the ballot?
Yes, under this bill, yes.
Okay.
Any other discussion on the bill? Delegate Lisanti?
Just quickly to council, isn't that current law?
Yeah, this is for unpaid campaign finance report fines, for late fees. If you cannot, file candidacy, be nominated, take office if you have unpaid late fees. And this just applies the same rule to civil penalties imposed by the state board for campaign finance violations.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on the bill? Okay, we are going to do a roll call, and the vice chair is, so the roll call is favorable as amended. The vice chair is excused. The chair will vote yes. Delegate Attar. Delegate Barnes. Delegate Boatler is excused because his daughter's getting married, right? Yeah. Delegate Branch. Delegate Buckle. Delegate Charles. Delegate Ebersol. Delegate Feldmark. Delegate Griffith. Delegate Guyton. Delegate Hartman. Delegate Hornberger. Delegate Ivy. Delegate Jones. Delegate Lisanti. Delegate Long is excused. Delegate Lukey.
Yes.
Delegate Plakovich Carr. Delegate Patterson. Delegate Rose. Delegate Wilkins. House Bill 15 A. House Bill 15, Senate Bill, 15 as amended passes favorably. Senate Bill 239, Delegate Wilkins. You turned it off.
Senate Bill 239 is a cross-file to a bill that we previously passed. This bill is about protecting contributor information. It prohibits the use of contributor information from campaign finance reports for commercial solicitation. There are no amendments on this bill. I move it favorable.
Any discussion on the bill? Okay, all in favor of the bill, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, please say nay. Senate Bill 239 passes favorably. Senate Bill 299, and there are amendments. Delegate Ebersol.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 299 is a cross-file of Delegate Kerr's bill that we've already passed. It requires 2 people in each school building to be trained in recognizing and administering care to students with seizures. In public schools, private schools are also permitted to do this if they want to. One of the school personnel must be a nurse or other medical professional, whereas the other must be designated by the nurse or and be a volunteer. Training must be provided to all school staff in an abridged version on how to recognize signs of a seizure, and that's to be done during professional development time. Every student with a known seizure disorder must have an action plan made in collaboration with the student's parents. There are amendments, but they are minor language changes, and so I move the amendments.
Any discussion on the amendments? Okay, all in favor of the amendments signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Okay, is there a motion on the bill as amended?
Move favorable, Madam Chair.
Any discussion on the bill as amended? Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Okay, Senate Bill 299 passes favorably as amended. Senate Bill 438, Delegate Ebersol.
Senate Bill 438 is the cross-file of a bill that was given to us by Delegate Corman. We passed it. It's in the same posture as the House bill. It codifies and continues funding for Baltimore City Young Readers Program at $200,000. It has been there already. It just codifies it and provides books to young children in Baltimore City. It also then creates the Young Readers Matching Grant Program for across the state and is matching grants at $250,000 for the same purpose. We're going to send books to kids. Move favorable.
Any discussion on the favorable? Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Senate Bill 438 passes favorably. Senate Bill 500, Delegate Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 500, Anne Arundel County Republican Party Central Committee elections. This bill is also cross-filed to a House bill that we previously passed. It changes the number of members of the Anne Arundel County Republican Central Committee elected from each council district from 3 to 2. Move favorable.
Any discussion on the bill? Okay, all in favor of the favorable, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Okay, Senate Bill 500 passes favorably. Senate Bill 705, and there are amendments. Delegate Ebersol.
This bill prohibits seclusions as behavioral health intervention in all public agencies, publicly provided schools, that is, except juvenile services education program. Limits seclusion in non-public schools except when there's a threat of physical harm or other behavioral interventions do not work. Seclusion must be limited in the presence of medical professionals. There's the definite list. Limits physical restraint in similar circumstances. If a student is restrained or secluded 10 or more times a year, the school must, within 4 days, submit a report to the County Board of Education or MSDE. If the school reaches that threshold or otherwise fails to comply with the act, the school must immediately create a corrective action plan. Additionally, schools must report on restraint and seclusion and have trainings toward positive behavioral interventions. The amendment alters the definition of seclusion to clarify that it doesn't mean exclusion and make some technical changes that will align it with the version that the Senate, the House we have a cross file. I really can't remember who the sponsor is, but it's a good bill, and we're looking forward to having it come across. I move the amendments.
Any discussion on the amendments? Delegate Buckle.
I just had a question. So I'm pretty sure you got the first part, the juvenile services education program. So those individuals who are detained in the, it's a school during the day, but they're also detained there. This is exempting those requirements from them, so that's out. And then the second thing you said that caught my ear was something about students at 10 times of seclusion. So if they went to the 11th time, it generates a report. Is that 10 times or 11 times for an individual student?
Yes.
Or okay, so it's not for the entire school in general. It's if this happened 10 times,
have one
11 times for one student.
I think it's at 10, not over. Once
At
they
10.
arrive at 10,
Okay.
then they have to do a report.
When they hit 10, you got to do a report and figure
Well, the
out what in
idea
the
is
world's going on that we have to go
Seclusion is
through with
supposed to
this
be a
many
behavioral
times.
intervention. It's supposed to make things better.
Right. You're not remediating anything, and you got to take a look at it. That makes sense. Thank you.
Any other discussion on the bill? Okay.
I think we're on the amendment.
Oh, we're on the amendments?
Did we do the amendment?
Was that the amendment? Okay. All in favor of the amendments,
much fun.
please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion on the bill.
Move the bill as amended.
Okay, any discussion on the bill? Okay. All in favor of the bill as amended, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition, please say nay. Okay. Senate Bill 705 passes favorably as amended. Senate Bill 907, Delegate Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 907, Elections, Polling Place Location Restrictions Repeal. This bill is a cross-file to a bill that we previously passed. As a reminder, it repeals restrictions on a polling place being located in a building that is occupied by an establishment that holds an alcohol beverage license. In the Senate, they did make a change compared to what we passed in the House, where they're going to require the State Board of Elections to adopt regulations for this by August 31st, so that the regulations are in effect before the bill goes into effect. There are no amendments to SB 907. I move the bill.
Okay, any discussion on SB 907? Okay. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposition, please say nay. Okay, Senate Bill 907 moves out of the committee as favorable. Our last thing we need to do today is we have a concurrence that we need to vote on House Bill 1255, the Physical Restraint and Seclusion Bill. Would you like to read this?
So this is the bill you just heard a minute ago, the Senate version, and so I don't have to really read it because you've heard it all already here. So this bill is coming across with the amendments that we're sending over to them, so we were going to move to concur with the Senate amendments on our bill. I'm not clear. It's not written here, so I'm not entirely sure. Okay. Wait a minute, let me look. No, I don't see the sponsor's name on this report,
So
sorry.
is there any discussion on the concurrence? Was there a motion to concur? Okay, any discussion on the concurrence? Okay, all in favor of the concurrence, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposition, please say no. Okay, thank you very much. That ends the voting session of the Ways and Means Committee. See ya.